they're usually successful, but they also have enemies that give them a run for their money. Have you ever seen a praying mantis handle a snake? What about a secretary bird? If you want to see some wild animals that know how to handle snakes, keep watching as we count down 15 moments when snakes messed with the wrong opponents. Number 15, mongoose versus snake. In the wild, black mamba has a few predators. Her adversary, the slender mongoose, a well-known snake hunter, is preparing to confront her. They may appear to be featherweights in the ring, but they are two of the most lethal predators on the planet. The mongoose is a fast mammal with razor-sharp fangs. A mamba bite, on the other hand, has the potential to kill 15 people. Consider how a 5-pound mongoose would react to such a situation. Although deadly, the mamba is not particularly aggressive. Her venom enables her to subdue and immobilize her prey. Toxins in snake venom bind to chemical receptors in victims' bodies, interfering with nerve and muscle communication. Because the receptors on the mongooses have changed, venom simply bounces off their muscle cells. The mongoose's method of exhaustion is to dance circles around its prey. The final shot is lethal. The spine is separated from the back of the head with a single snap. The snake isn't dead, but it's immobile. The gain outweighs the risk for the mongoose. A 7-foot snake is a hearty meal for a small predator. In the Kruger National Park, a dwarf mongoose fights a deadly opponent, the black mamba. Mamba snakes, which can reach lengths of up to 4.5 meters, are the most feared in Africa. Humans can die because of their bite, which is referred to as the kiss of death. The mongoose was thought to be trying to keep the snake away from its burrow. Mongooses are known to eat rats, birds, and snakes, but this massive black mamba is not your average meal. This pet mongoose discovers and challenges a Cape cobra in his home. Because the mongoose is a snake killer, the cobra should flee as soon as possible. The only issue is it must first get past the mongoose. As soon as it gets outside, the cobra flees and heads for the open field, but the mongoose pursues it and tries to outwit it. Look at this mongoose battling a large cobra. This snake is particularly frightening because it repeatedly attempts to bite the mongoose. The mongoose bolts, and I'm not sure if the snake hit it with the final strike. In front of a crowd of witnesses, a mongoose attacks a cobra in the middle of the road. The cobra is unsure how to flee, but the mongoose appears to have won yet another battle. This mongoose ambushes a black cobra and devours it by chewing its head off in seconds. The snake didn't have much of a chance to defend itself because it hadn't anticipated the onslaught. Number 14, bunny versus snake. This bunny isn't messing around when it pounces on this snake and teaches it a lesson or two. The snake tries to flee, but the rabbit pursues him. To spice things up, the rabbit did a few big kick combos and a backward flip. This rabbit puts on a show to remember when this snake makes him do all kinds of hops and somersaults. The rabbit isn't afraid of the snake and chases it until the reptile can't take it any longer and slithers up a tree to escape the crazed bunny. Number 13, honey badger versus snake. This is how a honey badger deals with a Cape cobra. It pursues it, kills it, and consumes it. Now that's simple to understand. This is not a honey badger, but a badger of some kind, most likely an American or European badger that has killed a rattlesnake. Badgers seem to be resilient no matter what part of the world they're from. Although the mole snake is not venomous, it is a formidable constrictor capable of inflicting agonizing bite wounds that can become fatal if infected. Let's see how the honey badger handles the mole snake. The snake is aiming for the badger's head. Whereas other animals may flee in search of easier prey, the honey badger approaches the situation as if it were any other, charging in headfirst regardless of the circumstances. The snake realizes this and tries to flee, but the honey badger has locked onto its prey and will not let go until it has crushed it. When the badger immobilizes the snake's jaws, the battle is over and the badger can enjoy his well-earned meal. This badger charges up to the snake and annihilates it in a matter of seconds. When the badger is bitten during the struggle, the venom is released, and the badger falls asleep for a few hours before waking up and calling room service. Number 12, cat versus snake. When a huge cobra approaches, this cat looks terrified. What person wouldn't be? The cat, like the snake, tries to strike it but misses. Surprisingly, the snake decides to flee. The sand cat is revered by nomadic tribes. The Prophet Muhammad was said to be friends with sand cats. The horned viper has no choice but to attack the sand cat when he sees it. If the viper can bite the cat, it has a chance of survival. Confidently, the sand cat taps the snake on the head several times. Because of the cat's claws, the snake is unable to reach it with a bite. The fight is long and arduous until the final blow. In this close-up, you can see the injuries on the snake. We probably already know who will win. Number 11, snake versus turkey. This turkey stops on the side of the road to consume what appears to be a snake. The snake isn't completely dead yet, but it won't be long before it is. The turkey appears to be having a good time, and he is certainly giving the snake the ride of a lifetime. This female got more than she bargained for when she found a gopher snake. Even funnier is the puffed-up male turkey, who is unconcerned about the snake or the female's position. This turkey kills a rattlesnake and begins eating chunks of it. I had no idea turkeys could kill snakes and enjoy eating them so much. Number 10, chicken versus snake. 3 cobras are attacking this hen, but it doesn't move away. She pecks at the snakes and stands up briefly, revealing the chicks, but the snakes do nothing more than hang out. Look at how this hen protects her chicks from a hungry cobra. The hen steers her chicks away from the dangerous reptile while fending off the snake. It remains between the snake and the chicks to prevent the snake from approaching them. The snake slithers away, having realized that this mama is not to be trifled with. This cobra pokes his head into the area where the hen is covering her eggs, and the hen almost bites the snake's head off. The snake does not frighten the hen, and she remains in the box ready to deal with another attack. This cobra encircles a hen and her chicks, but the hen fights the cobra fiercely until all her chicks escape. The cobra chases the chicks, but the hen stands between them and the snake to ensure that none of them are eaten by the reptile. Number 9, praying mantis versus snake. Did you ever wonder how a praying mantis would match up against the snake? Well, watch this snake try to attack this mantis and see what happens. The mantis waits for the right moment and then grabs onto the snake before biting into the flesh. The snake is unable to move as it is clutched by the mantis's raptorial legs, and the mantis keeps on biting. It is basically eating the snake alive. In this next sequence, you can see the mantis' modus operandi is always the same when confronted to a snake. It charges the snake and then holds it down with its raptorial legs and begins to chew on it. And there is nothing the snake can do about it. I never thought I would see a snake so defenseless, especially against a small insect. These two are stuck in a tiny bowl, so they have no other choice but to fight. The fight seems evenly matched, and there's no clear winner yet when the clip ends. Another wrestling match between a mantis and a snake becomes even more spectacular when a second snake and mantis are thrown into the aquarium. The mantises lose a few limbs along the way, and when the snakes are removed, the two friends show us they were never friends and attack each other. One mantis becomes lunch for the other. This mantis ambushes a snake and holds it down with its raptorial legs before biting into it and slowly tearing flesh out from the snake's body. Number 8, old guy kicks brown snake. A beautiful eastern Australian brown snake, the second deadliest in Australia, had just passed these people on the beach and had climbed up the concrete wall and onto the food serving area near the beach when this old man came along and kicked the snake right in the face on his way to the toilet. I know I wouldn't kick the snake, I would just run away from it. I guess people are used to snakes being in their way in Australia, like a stray cat would be somewhere else. Number 7, kangaroo rat versus snake. A lethal predator lurks in the desert sand, ready to strike, but its prey manages to flee. Desert kangaroo rats can repel sidewinder rattlesnake attacks with powerful kicks and soaring jumps. Scientists are studying the survival strategies of kangaroo rats in the wild using high-speed cameras. They discovered that due to their sensitive hearing, kangaroo rats can frequently detect ambush attacks. The kangaroo rat will defend itself in milliseconds by contorting its body and leaping to avoid the snake's fangs. Even if the rattlesnake comes into contact with the rat may be able to escape if it reacts before the venom is injected. It kicks the snake out in midair with its hind legs and twists its long tail to right itself and land on its feet. The kangaroo rat then sprints away, hoping to live to see another day. The world is a safer place for the kangaroo rat when it is dark. It stays mostly hidden from predators while searching for seeds, which are its primary source of food and water in this harsh California desert. However, it is not completely risk-free. Let's take a breather now. The kangaroo rat dodges those venomous fangs like some kind of furry spring-loaded ninja, and it's not by chance. This is something these rats do repeatedly. The rats lose battles from time to time because you can't win them all. Number 6, snake versus secretary bird.